Hello, and welcome back to the Misfits podcast, rated 5 stars on iTunes by Fluffy X Pumpkin. She says, yeah, if this costed money, I would definitely buy this, over the dead prostitute sitting lifeless in the car seat next to me. My goodness. What a charming review there,
Very
left
good,
to us by Fluffy X
truly
Pumpkin.
lovely.
I am joined here today by my co-host, iNoToRiOuS, aka Matt.
Oh, so glad you guys could join us this evening.
John on the radio, aka Toby.
It's fantastic to be here.
McCreamy, aka Jay.
Good evening, folks.
SwaggerSouls.
I'm erect.
And of course, Mason, aka Zuckles himself.
I'm the only normal one here.
Today, join us as we delve deep into the innermost territory of what we like to call the mind of Mason. This episode's different. This episode's going to be a little bit introspective. We're hopefully going to learn some things about our friend Mason here. If you follow him on Twitter, you might have noticed that he's been a little active lately.
A little fucking weird lately.
A little weird.
A little bit fucked.
On Instagram, on Snapchat, on Twitter, he's just tweeting all sorts of weird stuff. He's apparently enlightened in some way. He's getting all these great ideas, these great thoughts that he feels compelled to share with you, the viewers.
Visions.
And we just wanted to unpack them here and kind of get behind, what exactly is going on up there, and whether he's lost his mind or whether he's actually reached a new plane of existence is what we hope to find out today. So Mason, how are you feeling right now?
Honestly, as soon as it's talked about and the topic comes up, my heart starts throbbing like real quick.
Oh my goodness.
Jeez.
That's
All right.
That's the response we want, bitch.
Heart condition Andy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, let's just kick it off right off the bat here. Let's say, on August 18th, you tweeted out something a little interesting, something a little bit profound, let's say. You said, insecure people are ruining the internet because they're pretending to be things they aren't. What did you mean by that?
I mean, it kind of speaks for itself in a way. There's so many people that, pretend to be who they aren't.
Do you mean like content creators or just general people?
I'm in particular content creators. This is all to do with like the internet for me, because the internet is a special place for me. And
right.
So how are they ruining the internet?
Because they're giving impressions to younger people and it's rubbing off onto them.
So they're setting unrealistic standards?
Well, not unrealistic, just not, I don't know.
You mean the way they like present themselves, or?
I think it's just like bad influences. Do you mean like people like particularly kid-friendly creators, let's say like Logan Paul, Jake Paul, that would be like a peak example. Yeah.
Obviously there's people, who aren't them who do the same thing. I mean, it's a very talked about thing that there's fake personas on YouTube.
The thing is, they can have all this money, but I feel deep down that they're still super insecure. And
maybe, yeah.
But not everyone, but there are, even if it was a handful of people, the fact that they have an audience that large just opens up a new gate of, bad influencing. Like, it's just shit.
I guess. Some of them definitely could be insecure, but I think a lot of it also just comes from the fact that it's like, if you're going to be a child entertainer on the internet, you kind of have to put on a persona,
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
And it's profitable for them, like it makes them money. It's a business move on their part. And it's fake, right? It's not how they actually are, but it's it may not be because they're insecure. It may be just because that's how they make money. That's how they get the impressions. That's how they get people to buy the merch or whatever, I guess there's people in all walks of life and all kinds of content creators on YouTube who put on like an act, so to speak, that they're not, It's probably very common, but I don't know.
I think that the tweet is also a big kind of like dig on myself as well, because I feel like I was that person a few months ago, and ever since all this stuff happening, I've matured a lot, and I've wanted to be that mature person, but at the same time also be funny in who I am. But I just like to talk, and I like to be, on the internet. Like, I like to talk about things that are, I don't know,
You like to just be an open book, basically. You just like to
yeah. I like to have real talks.
Like your Twitter lately basically just seems like a big stream of consciousness where it's like you have a thought and you tweet
Exactly.
Yeah.
kind of thing.
That's what it's always been.
We could follow into the next tweet, which was the same day. I don't tell people to off themselves on the internet anymore because you're all pussies, and I feel sorry for you. What do you have to say
A little
about
bit
that?
more aggressive.
All right, mate.
let's say.
Let's get to the bottom of this one.
So, so about 3 years ago,
Oh boy.
like the whole before I even had a platform, okay, on Twitter or anything, I'd legit just like be like on the internet, like just whatever the fuck I want. Like I'd tell people to off themselves. I was just toxic, but I loved it, right?
Okay.
And
All right.
now that I've seen all these stories like come up of, you know, people that actually do it and just not even just that, like, you know, the Gavin Free story with his girlfriend, like stuff like that.
Look, explain it for the viewers at home because
Yeah.
like briefly what that is. I can't remember what that is.
So Gavin Free, one like a member of Rooster Teeth, one of the people I grew up watching, had a girlfriend, and there was this guy who was a big fan of her and thought that Gavin didn't deserve her. I'm just going off the top of my head right now, and he stalked them and went to their house with a gun, and his intention was he broke in, but the kicker is that he ended up killing himself, and that's what scares me. Like that, the fact that people do that, especially on the internet, like gives me anxiety. It makes me like fear shit, dude. Like it's fucked.
That's why I value my privacy.
That's why I felt like I don't want to be on the internet anymore. And
look, I mean, being on the internet and being a content creator, there's definitely some responsibility that comes with that, right? I mean, and I think that your tweet might have been not thought through properly because the reason that you shouldn't tell people to off themselves on the internet now, Mason, isn't because they're pussies. It's because you have a responsibility not to encourage your fans to kill themselves.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
But that's the thing. The pussy's part of it is like
it's not though. I mean, I think by pussy, the people who would do that sort of thing aren't pussies. They're
let me
serious
finish
mental health issues.
Fuck.
All right.
Like that's what I'm saying. The pussy part of that tweet is me talking as it like my like direct humor of just being a cunt. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a line with that though.
Yeah, I know there's a line, and I can't find that fucking line because everyone's a bitch on the internet now.
I mean,
I don't know. I don't have the same line anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's something you're gonna have to figure out. And it drives
me. Well, that's why I've just gone off and just said my true feelings because fuck it now. Like,
but your true feelings are super ambiguous, and none of us can understand it. It's very weird.
I wish that you would like, instead of just tweeting this stuff, and confusing your followers and making them concerned for your mental health, might you just, pop in a call with us and, talk about it. But I understand how like it's enjoyable to just put your ideas out there and see what the response is.
Yeah. Well, that's a big part of it too. But also like, it's nice to see when there are people that get it,
Let's bring it back to... Let's bring it back to the line that you were talking about and how you can't find the line. I mean, this is something that I've been thinking about quite a lot lately and talking with my parents about a bit as well because, now that I'm actually a big YouTuber, I actually had to take a look at some of my content and think, okay, like, when am I crossing the line? Like, when is being offensive, funny, and when is it being offensive just for the sake of being offensive? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I mean, for me, what it came down to and what like logically makes sense to me is, and it's what I said to you in DMs. I said, if you're going to say the N word, you better be damn sure you're being funny. It just comes down to what like the intention of what you're saying is and how it's going to be received. Like you can't just say the N word and be like, it was just a joke, everyone. I was just a big joker.
It was funny.
Because maybe you were joking in your mind, but if the joke falls flat, you have to accept the responsibility that, I just literally sounded like a racist just now. My bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and it comes down for things like, the word faggot, right? The word faggot is in my videos sometimes. Actually quite a lot recently, but I personally don't believe in calling other people a faggot,
That's what my mind is. Like, that's what I feel like. I don't.
And I know, and part of that I think is that you're you're grown up in Australia, and it's very common in Australia, especially in your part of Australia, to be like, "Oh, don't do
just
that, you
talk
fucking
shit.
faggot."
You just talk shit. Yeah.
And like and I get that for sure, but I think that at the end of the day, you have to kind of realize that, okay, the word faggot actually is a really horrible term to call a gay person, And I mean, if you're gonna say call someone a faggot, you have to make sure like you're actually there's some comedic integrity to it, because otherwise you're just gonna sound homophobic. You know what I mean? And I know that and don't get me wrong, because I mean, people who are listening, some of our viewers might actually be shocked that I'm even saying.
I can justify that so easily though, because there are so many other content creators that just use that in their basic form of language and just not even for comedic purpose.
What, say faggot and say like
yes,
offensive shit?
Yes, and it's just not even funny. It's just there. It's funny. It's funny because
but I mean, just because other people are doing it doesn't. That's just because other people are doing it doesn't make it like okay. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I know.
don't know.
No, I know it's not like it's.
I don't think there's that many content creators throwing the word faggot around casually.
No.
I'm saying that if anything, we're probably some of the only big content creators who are still have the guts to even include it in the joke.
I had one video where like the word faggot was used 50 times and it didn't get demonetized. I got
50 times.
It was a lot of times. We said faggot so much in this bit, dude, and I just threw it in the video. I was like, yeah, this is fine. I can get away with this, and I did.
Yeah, I literally look at the usage of it. And I'm like, was that funny? And if it's funny, it goes in the video, no questions asked. And that's my philosophy around it. It's like a good example is a video I posted a while back, highly offensive PUBG moments. We're playing the word association game. Cryo says, okay, I'm going to say a word. You say the first word that comes into your mind. He says preschool. I say faggot immediately. And it's funny because it's like, there's comedic justification there, because it's like, oh, he's not just saying faggot to say faggot. He's saying it because it's like reflecting back to preschool when he was supposedly called faggot by his friends, which is kind of funny, So, I mean,
it's
that's
absurd.
my mentality.
That's why it's good. It's not like you get. It's not like you get shot in a game and you go, "What a fucking faggot!" Like, it's
that's
like,
different.
Yeah.
That's why when PewDiePie, the whole
bad.
PewDiePie N-word controversy came out, I was like, I definitely was on the side of like, okay, he really fucked up there, because he literally died, got angry, and called someone an N-word to put them down. He was like,
so
what a fucking
hilarious.
N-word. And like, it was funny because it's PewDiePie, and it's like the actual fact that he said it wasn't like an okay usage of the word.
No,
I don't think he's a racist. It just slipped. Like, it doesn't mean he's a racist person, right?
It doesn't.
But
No.
it definitely
But
wasn't
that's
an
just not a
okay
joke.
usage.
Yeah.
Like you can't use it that way and get away with it. You have to have some respect for. I mean, and don't get me wrong. No one's less of a fan of the increasing political correct culture than me, but I just think that you have to at least pay some respect to the fact that okay, people do get offended by words, and sometimes it's actually for a good reason.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. It's a whole fucking can of worms. You could talk for hours about that, but
All right.
this is the mind of Mason, and I want to stick on track.
So speaking of
maybe we
can
should
of
move
worms,
in.
let's crack open the next tweet.
All right.
Every day that goes by, I see less tea in the bag.
Yeah, what the fuck is this?
What did you mean by that?
This was 16 hours ago, ladies and gentlemen.
The
Just
most
last night,
confusing thing I've
young
ever
Mason
read.
Took to Twitter and
Right,
decided
no
to
more
tweet
tea
this.
in the bag.
All right, so I'm sure you'll know, especially Cam, that I have had countless experiences with women.
Okay.
All right.
Actually, I think you could count them on one hand.
Maybe for you. You can't count above 3, Mason, so.
Like a long distance kind of thing. Yeah, but go on.
But that's the thing. Every encounter I've had with women is usually like for a lengthy period of time.
What do you mean by lengthy? Like months?
Like, yeah, it's just either first relationship was 2 years, and that relationship in the end was holy shit, what a waste of my time. But at the same time, it was like, holy shit, what an experience.
Was this the one where she broke up with you in Germany? Is that the one I'm thinking of?
I broke up with her over text in Europe. Right. Yeah. I don't know, like, I just feel like, that especially with these Twitch parties that I go to and stuff like that, there's so many leeches and disgusting people that just want that fame and that, it disgusts me, dude. And I hate it. And I see it so much. And it fucking drives me insane that people are actually like that they will use that just for a platform on the internet. And it makes me hate not women, but
Careful.
Jesus.
no.
It makes you hate teabag.
How do you detract this? How is anybody supposed to detract this?
Yeah.
From every day that goes
Yeah.
by, I see less tea in the bag.
It's like, did you
Okay,
tweet
alright.
that and be like, yeah, everyone's going to know exactly what this means?
Okay, all right. So, one, you know I would have been high when I tweeted that. Two, that isn't a good enough excuse. But three, there is meaning to it. Let me just think for a second.
Did that before tweeting it.
Yeah, like unpack the actual metaphor there. What does that symbolize?
So like over the past week in particular, I've like countless times seen these like women just want that, you know, dose of you have that, you know, fame or like that platform, and you know, the tea is the good stuff, right? And the milk's just there. And, you know, when you dip the tea in the milk,
hang on.
Yeah, the milk is a second
The milk hasn't
part.
come into the equation yet.
The milk is the second part.
What the hell is the milk?
I mean, the following tweet, you tweet immediately after this tweet. So you say, every day that goes by, I see less tea in the bag. And then a couple minutes later, you tweet, and that's a big fucking glass of milk. All right. So this is a whole, this is like a package deal, I believe.
So yeah, it's
okay.
Two for one special.
The big glass of milk is all the women that are like that, and the tea is, it's not enough to concentrate all that milk. You know, there's only so much of the good stuff, and it's disgusting because you got to look for it. You really got to look for it because it's just, you know, I don't know.
All right. Let me slow you down. I mean, no one likes milky tea more than me, Mason. No one's less of a fan of too much milk in that tea than this guy. All right. But I don't understand the metaphor whatsoever. So how does this relate to women being clout chasers? Which is, I guess, is what you're alluding to, right?
It seems like what he's saying is that the tea is what you want, and then the milk is just there. And he wants the tea, but it seems like there's less and less tea every day that goes by.
I think that maybe the tea's not the issue because the tea represents Mason.
That's
You know,
the
tea
thing.
is-
That's the thing.
But
You know,
what you need, Mason, is you need some nice, clean, boiling water to balance this out. And just a little bit of tea. A little bit of milk. A dash.
Yeah, just a dash of milk.
clout
Everyone
chasing.
needs a little bit of milk.
So you just have a little women with no strings attached, and you're good.
Look, look, okay, I don't want to like laugh at Mason too much because he does have a point, you know, like that is, and I think you realize this really in LA is when you first kind of were like, oh
Yeah.
shit, like this is actually,
That's where he was pointing it out.
because in LA there's a big culture, especially with women and social media, where clout chasing and having sex for clout is just a total normal transactional thing.
Yeah, they'll fuck for like an Instagram
the
shout
thing
out.
is, like, for me, it makes me sick. Like, actually
Yeah,
sick.
well, it is.
It makes
gross.
all of us
It's
sick.
gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't think I get sick by it. If anything,
I get sick. I feel sick to my stomach. Like, it's
Yeah,
fucked.
it's gross. It is gross, and it's not a healthy basis for any kind of relationship. So, I mean, you do have a point there, but I mean, I think that you have a lot of opportunities to have a genuine relationship still. I think that maybe part of this ties into like you feeling hopeless that you're ever going to have a genuine connection with a woman again because your clout's going to get in the way. Am I right on the right track there?
Okay, so me in particular, I'm a hopeful person. I'm one of the most fucking hopeful people you'll ever meet.
God bless.
But my anxiety comes from doubt, and
Okay.
you know, doubt and
Okay.
hope are the complete
Yeah.
opposites. And when I have doubt, that's when, you know, I have panic attacks and I freak the fuck out and shit like that, and it's just not healthy for me. And with me, like, just even like expressing my thoughts on a tweet so some people can work them out just makes me feel better because that's the platform I'm building with. I know I've got you guys, and like, you know, you're some of my best friends, and like fucking, it's a bit different when you're trying to, you're reading all these comments and, you know, you're trying to take it in.
Yeah.
And there's just
Yeah,
a lot.
for sure.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, well, it is a lot, you know, and it's yeah, I mean, especially for you recently, I think really in the last few months, the attention you've been getting, especially from like people like fangirls and stuff, has gone way up.
It's weird, yeah.
Because you've been way more active and because you've been posting more to Insta, because you're, you know, I don't know, I guess also because you're hanging out with us more, you know, you're getting all this attention like quite rapidly. But I mean, like a year ago, it was really just you and your Rust and stuff, and
Yeah.
predominantly like male like subscribers, just like, and it was, you know, I mean,
Sausage.
I miss reading the old Mason comments on his Rust videos. Those were
it's basically just a bunch of Aussie kids being like, yeah, fucking
the most toxic
hit him with the
fucking
rock
community.
So yeah, I mean, it's definitely a lot to process sometimes being popular on social media, especially, when you do have like fangirls that are sending you Insta replies being like, I'll suck your dick for a fucking shout out, Mason.
No, that's a different story. I'm referring to like other
like people like
people that also have followings, whether they're small or large.
Yeah. I think that you don't have to, date those people if you don't want to. You can like shut those people out of your life quite easily, I think. It's gross, but it's not going to impact you if you don't let it impact you, there is always that kind of doubt. And we talked about this in episode 0 of the podcast, where having a relationship when you have a big YouTube following is actually quite difficult because you never really know what their intentions are until you're a little bit into the relationship and you know who they are, kind of thing.
So another part of that comes from like when I meet these people, I get weird about it because I want to learn more, and I'm like, what is in your mind that makes you want to do that? And then I in a sense want to fix them. Which is why I keep talking to them, because I'm just like, how can a human being think like that?
Yeah,
we
should similar in the sense.
We should bring a Twitch thought onto the podcast and do an inside the mind of a Twitch thought, and
all right,
that'll be.
God.
And that's on Drama Alert. Welcome to 2018. This is the internet.
We could all fuck you for a shout out.
That'd be great though. Actually, bringing an actual an actual
Proper.
Twitch thought.
Yeah,
Squash for
He was like, oh yeah, I'm happy to suck a dick for whatever. Who's just open about it. That'll be actually a good idea. Anyway, I want to move along here. The next tweet is just, if you can't turn those tweets into something else, there's a reason you ain't at the top.
Well, we're not at the top.
First of all, Mason, you're not even at the middle. All right.
I get that. you don't have to tell me that.
Second of all, no one is going to understand those tweets unless you explain it to them, just like you did now. And even then, it's a bit vague. The fucking teabag.
Big fucking.
It took us 15 minutes to unpack that metaphor. I don't think that. I don't know. You were high when you tweeted this, obviously.
That's the thing, though. There's people that do get it. There is, and like those people. Do
you know that though? Do you know they got it, or are they just saying that they got it?
No, I know it because I read through
any comments.
But they could just be saying like, I totally agree, bro.
No, but that's the thing. I'm not retarded. I don't see it as that. Like, that's not how it works.
But how would you know?
Because the reply that they give is like, it connects with what.
Well, here's a reply. Are you okay? Do you need help? Has Swagger been giving you some weird stuff again?
I don't know about that. I think that some of the tweets,
I'm trying to focus on people that are creative and they don't jump out of their comfort zone enough. And if people can make something out of a tweet like that, no matter how retarded it is, the fact that, I don't know, they had some sort of thought process to it and could make something out of it just shows that they're creative. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I want those people to thrive, because I think that people that aren't creative need to get out of that zone themselves, kind of thing. Like, they don't deserve the help unless they ask for it.
Okay. I think that your intentions are good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not shitting on your intentions. I'm only memeing because it's a bit funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get it. No, I get it. That's because you're my friends. Like, and obviously there's people that just laugh because they're like, what the fuck is wrong with this cunt? But still.
Well, yeah. There's a little bit of that. The tweets are a little bit FouseyTube-esque a little bit too FouseyTube-esque for my taste. I think that if you like expressed, you just expressed the thought properly without being like, every day goes by, I see less tea in the bag.
Then they just come across as brutal, honest statements that hurt people directly.
Yeah,
I can't word it any other way.
Isn't it better to do that though?
That's why I was talking to you, Jay, about things I want to say on YouTube now. But you said like, you can't look like a tryhard when you do it, which is fair. I get that, but like, it's just how I feel.
I get that. I get that.
Yeah, I think sometimes I think there's still a lot of thinking to be done on the subject for you to really get to a proper conclusion on it. I think now you're dealing with like a sheer like emotional reaction to like, oh, that's fucked up. Like, I just realized like that this actually exists in people and that's like messed up. And I think that you need just time to process it properly. Be like, okay, well, I wonder where they're actually coming from, and think about it more, and have more of a logical reaction to it as opposed to like an emotional one, which is what it is now, where it's like you just feel sickened by it, which is rightfully so. But
well, that's what makes me human.
People are very complicated, Mason. Like you really can't just label people and just be like, you're this, you're that by taking a brief look at them. People are very complex. You could take like 10 people with anxiety, and they'll all have anxiety for different reasons, and they'll all be different levels of anxiety, and they'll all be fake on some level. Like it's just how people are.
Yeah.
I mean, I think one mistake that a lot of young people really get hung up on, especially when they're like trying to discover themselves, man, is who is the real me sort of thing. Like, what is the real me, and how do I portray it, and how do I know I'm not being fake? And I think that like it's just such a trap, because you never really know what the real you is. All you can do is be aware of yourself and learn from your mistakes and try and grow as a person and be open to things. And I mean, PogChamps for you, Mason. It sounds like you're on the right path.
That's a fact.
But you are in a bit of a state right now where I'm like, okay, maybe less teabag tweets, maybe more,
maybe less milk.
Moving on.
Failed cooking classes my whole life, but this is a custom-made recipe with guaranteed success. What do you mean by that?
You sound like a bit of a pyramid salesman here.
I like that.
All right, so
sound like you're gonna sell me a house.
During cooking, I could never follow a recipe, and it always frustrated me following steps. I panic because when there's steps in front of me, I feel like I'm gonna fuck them up. Like you don't that's the thing. That's the hard part about it, I guess. No one understands unless you. Like, only I get that the most. I get that now. But, like...
Get what?
Like, the tweet itself is...
Okay.
But the thing is, like, when you don't follow the recipe, you take your own path. And any path of your own, if you try hard enough, is, it's success. You can do it.
I mean, surely you're always, to some extent, taking your own path. Right?
What do you mean?
Sorry, I mean, no matter what you do, you're taking your own path through life.
Yeah.
I mean, no one, there's, I mean, do you mean by recipe, like some people think, I don't know, a classic trope is to people who fall into the trap of watching like too many motivational videos on YouTube, and they think, okay, if I do this, 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 and this, and conduct my life in this way, like this guy told me to, then I'll be successful. Like that is what I imagine, like what a recipe is. But I mean,
yeah, people rely on all these like steps just to get the success that they want. Not the success that they need.
What do you mean by what by want? Do you mean financial success?
Yeah.
When in reality, what they need is
just
like self-fulfillment and meaning.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I mean,
yeah, for sure.
It's increasingly like the still prevalent idea now is like. The idea is get rich.
That just bounces back to like all these fuckwits that like just give these young kids the wrong idea on YouTube and other content, like other content creators. That's how it all links to me, because like it's just like, fuck, you're telling this kid to do this, and they're gonna do the exact same thing, and it's just like I don't know.
So do you mean like YouTubers showing off a really flashy lifestyle and be like, this is what it's like to make it. This is what you need to be happy.
Well, no, not just that. Like everything, everything that's not. I don't know, there's just people out there catering to audiences and giving them the wrong thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's always going to be that, I guess. It's very hard to stop that. What you can really do is input your own stuff out there, I guess, which maybe is what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, well, I was just going to say, that's a whole other can of worms. Man, we're getting pretty philosophical this episode.
There's a lot of can of worms.
Apologies at home if you're not following.
Speaking of philosophy, what if up was down and left was right?
All right, okay.
Arguably one of the more sage tweets of the series.
All right. So you want to know my honest thought process to this?
Of course.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh shit, I need an excuse. Let me tweet something that's just more Mason.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay.
So you were getting anxiety about appearing like you were like some kind of like high and mighty philosopher.
Because I know that's what people jump to straight away. That's what people assume. Like even like talking to you guys, I wouldn't say I feel judged because you're my friends, but I'd feel like you're doubting me. that's what it is, and that's where the anxiety comes from again.
I get that.
Doubting you about what?
No, I fully get what he means, because we are being in some ways judgmental.
You're very
because
confronting about it, and it's like, oh shit, like they're like, oh, what are they thinking about me? What am I doing wrong?
Like, I mean, to be fair, Mason, when we said we were going to unpack this on the podcast, and you were like, yeah, let's fucking do it.
Well, yeah, because I'm coming, like, I know now that it's okay to talk, like, after last night, I know that it's okay to talk about these things.
Yeah.
And I'm still going to, of course, get a little bit of anxiety from it, but, it's like nothing that I can't work on.
Yeah. And also, to be fair, I mean, that anxiety wasn't misplaced. I mean, the tweets on their surface do come across as like, he's having some kind of weird philosophical journey right now, and he's feeling like...
Yeah, I need to let people know that I'm still okay, Like,
but, I mean, the problem with that tweet is that it actually just seems like another tweet.
Next level one.
Like, it doesn't seem like a Mason tweet. It's like, okay, now this is just weird. Like, what if up was down and left was right? But I do understand your thought process there.
Yeah. And that's my big issue that I've had, like, and I'm still working on, is just getting my words out in the right way, because how I am with words. I just suck at them.
Yeah,
but
well, we talked about this the other day privately. I don't think you're an idiot. I really
my mind's in the right place, but my like the way I speak is not really.
Yeah, well, you just have a hard time explaining yourself in a way that doesn't involve teabags. No, but no, seriously, like it's it's a fact. Yeah. I mean, and unpacking this, you do have good points. Don't get me wrong, they're good points. We're kind of just laughing at the format you presented it in, and
because, I get obviously. That. Like, well, part of that is supposed to be funny.
Yeah, no, we get it, but it also, I don't know. I just think my advice would be careful with this, because you look insane. And then you're not insane. That you're just, I don't know. I wish that you would talk to your mates about it instead of your followers, because your followers aren't gonna they're not getting out of it what you think they're getting out of it. I don't think. I know you say that you see the replies and that they get it, but
let me put it like this, okay? The internet for me, when I played originally, it was a place where I was safe, because there's nothing that can punch me through a screen. There's nothing that can do that. Whereas, you're confronted with, direct emotion if you talk to someone about this face to face. And I fear that. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, that's a reasonable fear. That's a fear for a lot of people.
It's a big fear.
But I think it's a good fear to work on, because it's not. I mean, it's a fear, but it's also a flaw. Because it's important to be able to do that.
Of mine.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess that's why it's good that we're talking about it now, even though it is in front of a lot of people, technically, on the podcast. You can decide whether to delete this or not after, but I think it's good stuff.
The ultimate fear of it is, like, with the fucking whole Gavin thing, that actually happened, and and I know that people don't like seeing people happy. And if I'm the happiest person in the world, people would actually just fucking kill me. That's what my mentality is. That's what my actual mentality is. That people would literally want to kill me.
Cases like the Gavin thing are rare cases,
Yeah,
it's
but the fact that it happened,
there's always the risk, that you run, because you live a public life now in some senses, and a risk does come with that. Even just getting recognized and having an unpleasant experience with someone who tells you to go fuck yourself, like, oh, you're that fucking Mason guy, fuck you, bro. Like, stuff could happen, but I think it's not common to happen.
Yeah.
It's really not. I mean, you can't do anything without making someone mad, like you said, or people hating you for it. But I mean,
that comes under things I just want to say. But like I said, brutal statements.
Before these fake happy people on the internet are using your logic, that'll be dead, wouldn't they?
Wait, say that again.
Because they're constantly happy. You said that someone wants to kill you if you're the happiest person.
Yeah.
So what about all these happy fake people on the internet? Like, they're extremely happy and they show it all the time.
Yeah, but they do get a lot of hate.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, like, you're not gonna get killed by someone, Mason.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Unless you do something real stupid and actually garner literal people with pitchforks to come to your house. I think you're good.
But that's the thing. Like, the way I'm starting to build myself is in more of a creative way compared to those people that pretend to be happy because it's fake and gay. And my way that I'm gonna my way will be special to me, and I think people will see that.
But people aren't seeing that you're happy right now.
Well, that's the thing. Well, that's why I'm having this talk now, because I would like people to know that I'm okay. I'm just trying to find my feet properly.
Yeah,
That's good.
no,
Like-
for sure. I mean, I think none of this anxiety is misplaced. I just think that you need to learn how to deal with it better. You know, and that's just a fact. You know, it's like, you know, all these, when you actually explain it properly, these are rational thoughts. You know?
for sure.
You're not insane.
Well, I know that.
You know,
Like,
but I know. But you know, I'm just explaining it so that other people know. You know, like these are rational ideas. It's just you're not dealing with them well right now. Maybe I don't know.
yeah, I mean,
talking about it with mates is probably a good step, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, let's move on. Because I can is aggressive, and because I wanted to is passive. I can kind of understand this one on some level.
yeah.
I mean,
it speaks for itself.
Yeah, I mean, the way I look at it is like saying that you can is definite, is like a definite thing. It's like I can do this, so it's like a more aggressive.
It appeals to
mindset.
just yourself. It's not considerate. It's not considerate of other people.
Yeah, but I wanted to is more like a weaker stance. It's like I wanted to do it. It's not
that's what makes me a pussy.
Okay, explain that.
Because I tend to other people's needs more than my own. And that's something I've been doing my whole life. And I'm around all these women that just want bad boys and shit like that. And it freaks me out because I'm like, because I just feel lonely. I want closure. I need closure. And, you know, I know like my friends can obviously give that, but it's not the same as if I was to have like a girlfriend or something. And it's just,
I can see that.
What do you mean by that? You mean like you wish you had someone that you could actually like
a girl is
open
what
up to?
Yeah, a girl is what could do that for me. And that's how I felt with my last relationship. And I haven't had that feeling since. And she hit me physically.
Yikes.
Yeah,
get into that?
Yeah.
No, we won't get into that. But like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I've had all these bad experiences, and I'm just losing that hope that I have, and it just.
I mean, this sounds like it comes back to the thing of like, talking about this shit.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do that with people like me as well. You know that, right?
I know.
It's all good to be emotionally available that way to your mates if you need it. You know, I mean, it's like that's obviously the biggest trope ever is that like dudes can't talk to dudes about their feelings and shit. But if you're feeling some shit and you don't have anyone to talk to about it, talk to someone about it, and that's, you know, advice for the viewers at home as well. I'm a huge believer in that. I think it's just like good to conversation solves everything if you do it right. Like it's just like I don't know, but I get like how having a girlfriend, someone who's like literally that intimate, could be easier.
Well, someone to confide in.
And that would be good for you, but I just wouldn't go like putting your everything into chasing it, you know?
That's what, like, lately I haven't been chasing. I haven't.
Yeah.
That's what's good for me.
It's a big thing on your
Like,
mind.
I'm fixing those things right now. I'm just being like a not give a fuck kind of guy, which is what I need.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
When it comes to women, at least.
For sure.
Yeah. People that get too deep should drown. Oh, that's going to be all of us on this podcast, unfortunately. It's getting way too deep over here, and maybe we should drown. I mean,
Didn't even bring my floaties.
I mean, the way I interpret this tweet, I mean, people that get too deep should drown. The way I interpret this tweet is people that act like they. I don't know. Is it people who act like they're super philosophical and understand shit, like a fake deep should drown, or what?
Let me give you an example, okay? Worst case scenario, okay? Someone like a pedophile, okay?
Okay.
Like, well, it's logical. Right. It makes sense.
It does. Carry on.
You can't undo something like that. Like, that is an inhumane thing to do. And those people shouldn't deserve to live, like, on this, like, anywhere. They don't deserve to live in my books. Like, you fucked up. You have done something that's undoable for someone else. Like, you've scarred that person.
Yeah.
None to say that they can't fix that, because people are strong and they can do it, but you've caused it. Like, I don't know, like.
Did you mean people who do unspeakable things that are so far deep into like the things that committed should not be? Should die.
They deserve.
They should commit not alive.
They
deserve a death penalty discussion podcast, ladies and gentlemen. A political show. Yeah. No, I get it. No, I do get that. And I can. Yeah. You know.
So
I don't know.
So your tweet really could have been worded like people that bury themselves too deep should be buried. Like people
Well,
that dig
I know,
a hole
but that's
for
the thing.
themselves.
No one.
You know, like you're too deep in your own shit.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I guess.
You can't dig yourself out of a hole effectively.
Yeah, but I mean, drowning would be justice. No one likes to drown.
Man, this is some medieval shit. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I necessarily
Chuck 'em in the
agree.
mud.
I disagree.
Because this gets into like a whole philosophical
that-
argument of like, is death a justifiable punishment?
I mean,
or
that
is
just
human
that's
life
the,
sacred?
Well, that's the
You know?
thing. That's what just came to the top of my head. Like, I don't know my thoughts on that tweet in that depth. Hence why, like, when you go up, you know, you see the ones that I say that lie to dig themselves out. That's that.
Yeah.
That's in that, you know, context.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, these are all clearly
Just,
just tweets that are coming from a straight emotional things. Like you think it, you tweet it, sort
Well,
of thing. So like,
Just to clear the air, you were also high, right?
yeah,
Yeah, but that's what I think like even when I'm sober. It's
Okay.
just, the high part of it
Yeah.
is the thing with me being high is I've always used high as my excuse to talk like that. And
Right.
that's my and
Okay.
that's you know what I mean?
I see that. Yeah.
Yeah, like being high is my like fallback. And now that I'm like comfortable doing it while high, it gives me more anxiety to do it while high because you know it's that exaggerated feeling. And I don't know how else to explain it. I think Jay gets it. I think
I
Yeah,
get
no, I
it.
got that.
So
Yeah.
you know,
I get it.
if people just think, oh, it's just Mason being high, it means that
Then-
Yeah, exactly.
people
that's
won't
like
take
my-
it seriously if you
Yeah.
fuck up or
Yeah,
if it
yeah,
comes
yeah.
across wrong. You know,
But now
no,
it's
totally
like
understandable.
I'm holding myself accountable for my actions. That's what it is. So like if
Yeah.
I fuck up, then it's like whoa, whoops. Oh well, sorry guys.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Uh,
that's you know, I guess the adult thing to do.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm becoming an adult. Like,
Yeah,
and you
You
know
are.
that, and it's
I
just
think so.
it's scary for me.
Yeah, I mean, like the whole, you know, becoming self-aware and thinking deeper about these sorts of things is daunting, you know, because there is a lot wrong with the world, and if you look too closely at it, it can really fucking freak you out.
Yeah.
So, you know, I for sure understand that. I don't know. It's just going to take time, mate, and just being, you know, not letting the concepts get the better of you, and just thinking about like just zoom the fuck out on reality and just be like, all right, like this is, and just analyze it from a pure logical standpoint, you know, and not get overwhelmed by the emotion of things. It's easier said than done, obviously, but I think that's what you kind of need to learn how to do. Because right now you're way up close, and you'll look at something like the pedophile thing, you're like, that's fucked, that's so fucked, and then it's like a pure emotional response. Whereas if you zoom out, you're like, okay, like, man, these people are really sick, you know, like, you know, and you know, you can actually like break it down maybe, and I don't know, some things are a total mystery.
Well,
obviously, but-
this all does come back to like why I wanted to be a cop. You know, like
did you say a cop? You cut out.
yeah. That's what
Okay.
that was my dream job before YouTube came along. Because you know, I like putting the bad people away
Mhm.
in a sane way. You know,
You like
Yeah.
justice.
yeah, I love justice.
Justice, dude.
Justice is my fetish.
All right.
Justice League.
There you go.
I mean, fair enough. I mean, everyone likes a bit of justice, you know, but you can't get carried away with it, you know, obviously as well.
Instant karma compilations on YouTube, baby.
All right.
Bullies get wrecked.
I put people that I don't even know before myself. I presume you're talking about
That's
your fans or your audience.
Everyone, dude, and
Just
people I
everyone.
don't even know. People I've never met before.
How do you mean put them before yourself?
Because I like fixing things. I want people to improve as people, and you know, that's
Sure.
that's the part that I'm confused on because I'm thinking like, you know, let's bounce back onto it, like a pedophile thing. I'm like, okay, how can you fix someone like that? Like, what can you fucking do to fix that? And then that
Yeah,
drives me
I mean-
insane. And then like that just I don't know, like I can't put into words, man.
The pedophile thing's a very tricky
Yeah.
lane of discussion because there's
Yeah,
there's
well,
an
that's the-
argument that
that's the
it's
thing, like,
that it
it's
is unchangeable, that it literally is just something that is
That's why I
so
like to use it
hardwired
as
into
an
their
example.
sexuality that it's like all they can do is just acknowledge
Well,
that they are what they are and just never act on it. You
And
know?
the scary part is like people do this is because they've been hurt and they haven't been able to be fixed. People do get fixed.
Yeah, no, there's
No.
some truth in that. I don't know. I don't know the exact details around the science of pedophilia, but
Well, it's not
I don't
just
know.
that, you know what I mean? It's a lot
Yeah,
more.
no, I know,
that's just
but-
one of the best like examples because it's one of the worst cases, like what worst case scenario, like one of.
yeah,
And
I don't know. Yeah, I mean that's a danger. I mean, it's definitely dangerous to not give yourself time and put others before yourself.
Well, exactly. It puts me at risk because I'm putting other people before myself, and it's not healthy.
I think you just need to have a reasonable dose of compassion and not get overwhelmed. I mean, because that's, by the sounds of things, it's coming from a place of compassion where you want people to be the best they could be, sort of thing.
Yeah,
genuinely.
Yeah.
But you kind of have to moderate that, obviously, which obviously, because you just tweeted that. I believe that it's like you can't always put other people before yourself and always be focused on fixing everyone.
I know.
And
That's
people are really hard to fix. People are very complicated, like I said. So it's.
I feel like me becoming an adult is me finally starting to look after myself. And that's a good thing. And that I'm excited for that. Like I'm excited to be able to move out, get my own place, like just anything that's on my own. I'm sick of being babied by my fucking mother. Having to be in an environment where there's just everyone around me doing things as well. Like, I just want my own area.
Yeah, well, that's a very normal thing to think. At your age.
I'm exactly the same, dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
independence, man.
There's something so attractive when you're 18 and even younger about independence and responsibility for yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like the natural step of life. You need to step out of the nest.
The special part about it is, I think, even though I will gather that independence, I will have that other part of me, like that, that passion.
Yeah, well, that's a very, definitely don't get rid of that.
I feel blessed by it in a way. Like, I feel like I'm very lucky to feel like this and have these emotions, and I'm grateful for it.
Absolutely. I mean, you're clearly a good guy. No one's doubting that.
Yeah.
Right now you're just in a tricky spot where you're figuring it all out, I guess.
Well, I want to bring my fans with me. Like,
yeah. Well, maybe you'll be the first content creator to be genuine enough to actually build his fans up around them and not just do it for monetary gain.
That's what I mean. Exactly, dude. Fucking
yeah. I mean, I think that there are real people on social media, obviously, and it's hard for them to do, massive amounts of good, because at the end of the day, you are just a YouTuber. You're a subscribers therapist. You're not, you're not able to change all of their lives necessarily. But as long as you don't fall prey into like the always be happy, guys, always smile, keep smiling, like that kind of fake shit, which doesn't really help.
100%. That's why I'm saying, like, and you look at the other tweet, you see it there, like the fucking, if I had a mic, I'd want to drop it from the highest fucking building possible. Like, that's just my comedic side bouncing back. Like, I won't lose that touch of me making them like things humorous. And I don't want to be that guy that sits on social media and goes, "Oh, be happy, smile, fucking yeah." Like, because people should have to learn to do that themselves.
That shit's toxic, dude. That shit's fucking toxic.
Yeah.
It makes people think that if they aren't happy, then there's something wrong. Like, there's nothing wrong with being sad.
There's problems that you need to fix,
Yeah. I mean, if you're happy every day of the week, fucking God bless you. Holy shit. I cannot believe that.
Well, I know that I'm capable of that, dude. I
don't know, dude. I think that genuinely being happy every day is impossible. I just don't think that anyone can live that way.
If you work,
I mean, happiness is not the end goal of life by any means. I think it's great to be happy. Should value being happy when it's coming along, but like what actually matters.
Bouncing back from failure is the better part of it.
Well, what really matters is just being on track and feeling like you're bettering yourself. And you're not always happy along that journey, but at least you feel like you're moving towards something that matters.
Yeah.
In my mind. So it seems like you're on the right track. We just needed to get to the bottom of things. I mean, your pinned tweet right now, which wasn't the final tweet, but it was somewhere in the middle.
That's like the sum up, that pinned tweet.
I guess, yeah, it kind of relates to everything we've just talked about. I mean, yeah, you've it's like a bit of a rant session on Twitter, but it was entertaining and clearly some actual good intentions and logical thought there as well, underneath the surface, underneath the tea bags and milk. Poggers.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if these Twitter rants are a good thing to do, even just from a pure career perspective. You know what I mean? I mean, like, I don't know. I honestly just don't fucking know. I think it's hilarious.
Why?
I love you to bits, man. I don't want you to change.
No, because it's different. No one else does this. You don't know, like.
I guess, but I mean, I guess, but at the same time,
I think you're worrying more your fans than you are, helping them.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's why I needed to get this. I needed this off my chest because I want people to know that I have nothing but good intentions.
Of course,
that's
everyone can everyone can see that. Everyone knows that you're a good dude. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. No one's looking at these and be like, what a jackass. I don't think.
I guess the special part about it being on the internet is that it's more of a staple. Like it's there. Whereas, like I know it's there in my head all the time, but I want it for somewhere where everyone can fucking see it that knows who I am.
Yeah, I just don't know if Twitter's the place to do that. Twitter's a very succinct form of communication and can often be misinterpreted in lots of ways, and I don't know. What I think you should do really is just internalize these ideas more on your own, talk them through with us, talk them through with anyone, your family, whoever, and just get to the bottom of shit because it's interesting stuff to talk about, it really is. And then if you have an idea that you're like, oh, I really want to share that, like that's actually a cool concept, then boom, that's a tweet, or, you talk about it on Twitch. Twitch is probably a better way of doing it because you can actually explain yourself, and correct yourself as you go. I don't know. I mean, I don't think that you should feel responsible for outputting these ideas right now, especially because you still haven't formed them completely yourself.
That's what I'm scared of too. Like half of the ideas in my head, I don't know if my mic's cutting out. Half the ideas in my head are like, I feel like it'll jeopardize our group, and that's why I hold back from doing it.
I don't know. I didn't mean that.
Well, I won't tell you now, but there's just so much. There's so much other stuff I want to do, and it's a bad time for everything.
Yeah, I don't know what I mean. What I mean is, you yourself are still thinking these ideas through, and so you have to be careful about what you're outputting because, I mean, you could just be wrong, and I don't know. I mean, most of the stuff you tweeted was pretty harmless, but like, let's say the death penalty thing, for example. What if you actually just tweeted, like, I don't know, people who commit crimes should fucking die or some shit. I mean, you would never tweet that, but
that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I tweet it like that. Like, like I wouldn't say it like that. I would.
I know, but I don't know. It's just, I just feel like this isn't the healthy way of dealing with this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the internet isn't the place.
Well, even Twitch is great. Because, as Fitz said, you can explain yourself. I've had so many conversations that people are like, what the fuck are you talking about? But because it's on Twitch, you can explain it and answer all the questions, and people understand exactly what you mean. You can't talk about
anything. Like, that's bullshit.
You can talk about whatever the fuck you want on Twitch, dude.
Okay, so if I said, my dad raped me,
you can say that.
I guess, yeah, you can say that, sure.
Oh,
I mean, as long as you're not being hateful.
Yeah, I know.
Fine.
Yeah.
He's gotten away with much worse.
You could say my dad rapes me, but you can't say my dad rapes me. What a faggot. That's the difference.
You can if you're me.
Ambiguous.
That's your way. Yeah, I mean, I just think that Twitter isn't the best way of communicating these ideas. I just think that.
I agree with that, and I just struggle to confront people directly, and I'm working on it.
Let's pencil in a weekly therapy session, Mason.
I think a therapist would fucking help.
Probably.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with therapy, dude.
I'd love to talk to someone that I don't even know directly about everything and just have them understand.
You just got to find the right one, for you. The toxic thing about therapy is often people go to the first therapist they see, and if they don't have a good experience, they never go to another therapist.
Yeah.
You got to find the perfect one that just like you jive with,
Yeah.
Therapy's great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'll consider it, but at the same time, I'm getting all this. I'm starting to work on YouTube more and shit. The basics, the good stuff.
Yeah. I think you're fine, dude.
Yeah.
We're not.
Well, yeah, I know I'm fine.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with you.
Yeah.
You just need to learn to handle this shit better.
Yeah. That's my childish part playing in.
Man, this podcast turned into a whole intervention. We're sorry.
To sum it up, though, like I do want to state this last final pinned tweet, because I don't want to misinterpret people.
What is the pinned tweet?
I'm over these people that think I'm in some sort of depressed mental state. The only mental state I've ended up in is coming to conclusion on how shit the people are in this world. I want to fix it, but at the same time, I wouldn't want to be held responsible for the people that lie to dig themselves out.
Yeah, that's actually one of the only things you said that was well worded.
Yeah, and I know that. That's why I pinned that. I'm like, that's the sane way to put something as best as possible.
I guess, yeah. I mean, yeah, all good ideas, all important things to think about, but I just think less of a sheer emotional response to it and more of just because to me, when I think about this sort of thing, I'm not like, of course I have some emotion attached to it, but I'm mostly just like, man, that's really interesting. Let's talk about that sort of thing, as opposed to like being overwhelmed by, fuck, that's like messed up or whatever, or like, I don't know. I just think zooming out on these issues and stuff and just thinking about them sensibly and not letting them like overcome you is really important and useful, you know? Cool. Well, this has been a fucking weird podcast.
Mason's mind.
By the time you guys listen to this, we'll all be in Melbourne hanging out together, and it'll all be good times. We're sorry if it was depressing. I don't think it was depressing. I think it was more just like I think it was just a bit of a tame episode, and if anything, the real fans will probably find it really interesting to actually hear Mason talking for once, like not just being dead serious, actually explaining himself.
Well, it feels good. So.
Yeah, well, yeah, fuck yeah, therapy. Let's go.
Fuck yeah. Good friends, poggers.
On the podcast next week, we're going to have a child rapist on and unpack exactly what's happening in the inner workings of his mind. No.
Not doing that.
Do we end it on something cool? Like,
what?
This was, you do it,
Mason's
Swags.
mind.
You do it, Swags. You do it the best.
And this concludes the episode of Mason's Mind.
Please turn over to side B for podcast funny moments with the Misfit gang. Now that's comedy. We'll be back to our offensive, unreasonable, and all-around unpleasant selves next we've been the Misfits, guys. Goodbye.